Hello, welcome to MontzTV. Today I'm excited to have Tony Sanneh on the show. Tony started playing professional soccer for the USISL Milwaukee Rampage. He made his professional debut in '94 after attending the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Since then, his journey to follow his dream has seen him win 2 MLS Cups with DC United. He's competed in the Champions League with Hertha Berlin in the German Bundesliga, and he's represented the U.S. at the 2002 World Cup in South Korea. At that tournament, Tony played every minute in every game, and Sports Illustrated voted him as one of the best 11 in that World Cup. So Tony, thanks for having me on the show today.
Thanks for being here.
Excellent. Now, you grew up in St. Paul, Minnesota. What was it like for you, and were there a lot of kids playing soccer back in the late 70s, early 80s?
I think there was a lot of kids playing, and in my neighborhood and my friends, you know, we played a lot of sports, but we played basically with the same group of kids from when we were 11 to when we were 19.
Mm-hmm. How old were you when you decided that you wanted to play soccer professionally?
I don't think I ever made the conscious choice that I'm going to play professionally, but I never envisioned myself stopping.
Mm-hmm.
So it was almost like something that didn't need to be said, and I didn't need to worry about it. I didn't need to plan it. I just did it, and I didn't have to say, okay, I'm going to do this, this, this. I just went on a natural progression. I worked to get better in my mind, thinking that I would never stop.
Yeah. You know, looking back at your career now, it's easy for us to sit here and say, you know, or for someone else to say, you're a lucky guy, that could only happen to Tony Sanneh, that could never happen to someone like me. But, you know, I believe there's a difference in being lucky and creating your own luck. What does it mean to you to create your own luck?
I think you have to put yourself in a position to succeed. You have to work hard, you have to enjoy what you're doing, you have to get open doors, you know, you have to know that someone might always be watching, and you have to work on yourself to improve. And I do think, you know, people get breaks, you know, but it's like if you take 10 shots a game, you know, and you get 1 deflection goal, it's because you took 10 shots a game.
Yeah.
If you don't shoot, you know, chances are you're not going to get that deflection.
Yeah. Well, you know, some viewers might say it's easier for you to sit here now and talk about that and talk about having the right mindset and all that. You know, how can we prove, you know, what if that was your mindset back then? So, you know, through some of my research, I found a quote from your old college coach, Louis Bennett, at University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, right? And this quote was, before you were a World Cup starter, before you'd been capped 43 times with the national team, before you played in the Champions League. And he quotes you as saying, Tony was definitely different from the normal quality college player, and in 3 dimensions. First, he had exceptional athleticism, quickness, size, and leaping ability. Second was his mentality. He's such a competitor and a consummate gamer. Third was his vision. He always knew and was prepared to do whatever it was going to take to make him successful. He always saw himself as a professional player. Those things made him more productive than others around him at the college level. The combination of those qualities makes up for chemistry for a rare, high-level player. The bottom line between him and the average player and person is that he makes things happen for himself. Whatever he wants, he goes out and grabs. That's a pretty strong quote right there.
That is. I'll have to call him and thank him.
You've got that professional attitude now, and clearly from the quote of your college coach, you had that attitude beforehand. So, you know, before you even had a salary, before you had a job as a pro player, you had that attitude. How important is it to have this pro attitude and have the self-confidence to go after your dreams?
Well, you know, I think it's important, and it's a little bit difficult in life because some people will call you stubborn, some people say you're too competitive, some people say you only want things your way, and, you know, I do have a, hard mindset to go after stuff, and why should I accept doing something that I don't want to do? And, you know, I've had trouble sometimes in my relationships with my friends because, you know, these are friendships and you have to do stuff for the team or for your friends or for your family that might not always be best for you. But, you know, in general in life, you know, I ask somebody, why do something that you don't want to do? Unless it's benefiting somebody else, then you're doing it to give somebody else happiness. So if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do what I want. And and their goals, I think, is the key to me going after what I want and trying to be successful.
So excellent. If you want something bad enough, you just go out and get it. You take it. And at the professional level, when you finally do make it up there, they say the game is 90% mental. And you were once quoted as saying, "Take the field like you own it, or you will always be playing on someone else's field." Is that an original quote, and what does it mean to you?
That is an original quote, actually, and I remember who I made that quote to, and I've said it a lot over the years, but going out as when we were young, and whether you walk into a big party with a small group of guys and you look around, or you go and you play in a pickup basketball game, the fact is if you go in and are scared or nervous, you're going to play scared or nervous. But if you walk into the party and act like it's your party, by the end of the night it will be.
Yeah.
And if you walk on the field and act like it's your field, it might not just center around you, but you will be successful.
After playing as a youth and playing college soccer, earning an All-American, you went on and played the USISL, another indoor league, and then you had your debut in '94, and in '96 the MLS was formed. You signed with DC United. Those first 2 years of the league, DC United was MLS Cup champs, and you happened to score goals in both of those games. What does it feel like to lift a championship trophy?
I mean, for me, it's relief. I'm not really one of those guys that's going to go crazy after I win.
Mm-hmm.
I like just to sit down and enjoy the moment. Later on, I like to brag to myself, I won the championship, we did it. But at the moment it's done, for me, I like to give the guys a hug, sit down, and just enjoy the moment, because
kind of take a deep breath.
Yeah, take a deep breath. It was all worth it. I did it. We did it. And at that point, there's no taking it back. Yeah. And it can't be taken away from you, and it's something that you've done, and it's there forever.
After those 2 years in DC, obviously you guys were very successful. The team was very successful. Your individual career really took off, and you signed with Hertha Berlin in the German Bundesliga. Why does individual success usually follow team success? Well,
first of all, I played 3 years in DC before I left. I just think that if the team is doing well, you're going to be in a better position to do well, and therefore you're going to be noticed more. You're going to be on a better team. You're going to have better practices. It's going to be more competitive. You're going to be challenged every day. All things that improve you. And when you play a game, because you have better people around you, it makes you look better in the public eye.
Yeah.